Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. And today we are processing ugba oil bean. So join us as we process this oil bean today. It is still on the fire. So this is how oil bean is prepared. Okay. So at this point it has been sliced and it has been cooked and it's already due. And now it's time for us to bring it out of the pot. Okay, so you can see the pot is, you have to use a very big pot to cook it. Okay, so this is how oil bean, which is known in the Igbo parts or the eastern part of Nigeria as ugba or ukpaka, is prepared. Okay, it has already been sliced. At this point we are bringing it out of the pot. So you can see I am using this to bring it out of the pot. Okay, when cooking it, you have to use a very big pot. Okay, you have to use a very big pot so that it will give it enough space for it to boil very well, and for all the toxins and chemicals which are not good for the body to go away. Okay,
the fire is fiery.
I'm going to do it anime.
This is so easy.
Okay, so when bringing this out, you have to be careful so that you do not pour hot water on yourself. Also, you need to avoid the water to touch your clothes because the water is very toxic. If it happens to touch your cloth, it's going to damage that cloth for life. No amount of stain remover or hypo will wash that stain off again. Now, it is not all part of the eastern region or the people of Igbo land that prepare this thing in large quantity. It's only a few areas that prepare it in large quantity and sell it to the commercial market. Okay, others just do a few which they are going to eat or enjoy in their family, but it's only a few parts of the Igbo land that prepare it in large quantity and sell it to hotels, restaurants, and other businesses in the hospitality industry. Right, so we are still bringing it out. So you can see that it is big, it's massive. We have about 2 baskets. Most times it's bigger than 2 baskets. It can be as much as 3 to 4 baskets, but we have gotten 2 baskets already. And one major thing with this is that for you to venture into this kind of business, you must be ready to go through the stress. Because as you can see, the fire is much and I am almost crying as a result of the smoke entering my eyes. So you must be ready to go through what it takes to process an oil bill. It's not an easy task. With bringing it out from the pot, so it's time to apply it water. You have to apply some water to it to cool it off. Okay, so you're going to apply water to each basket to cool it off. Okay, so you can see that for yourself. All right, so that is how to apply water to it. We have to go through each stage. Okay, so we are going to allow the water to go off a bit and then we'll take it to the next stage or to the next process. So after sprinkling water on it, after you have brought it out from the fire, sprinkling water on it, the next thing is that we are going to put it in a pot and add water to it for it to ferment. Okay, so I have already, you can see we are adding water. And now that we have added water, we pour the entire oil bill into the water. Okay, and we will also pour the second one into a pot and fill both pots up with water. Some more water. Okay, so we are still adding water. We are going to add water till it covers the top of the oil bill. Okay, so you add water till it covers the top of the oil bill, and you have to just do it this way to make sure that water is touching every single bit of it, because we are going to allow it ferment. So we'll add water to this one too. Okay, more water to it, and then we'll still circle it this way. So we are going to leave it for 3 hours inside this pot with the water in it for it to ferment. So during this fermentation, it means that during this fermentation, it's going to remove a lot of toxins. Okay, it's going to remove a lot of things that are not good for human consumption, chemicals and other toxins that comes with the oil bill. And at the end of the day, you will see that this water which we added, which is actually clear, will turn to yellowish. Okay, after the 3 hours. So we are going to leave this, and after 3 hours we will come back to it and continue with the next stage. So at this point, the oil bill is not eatable. It's not eatable yet. So you are going to allow it to format, or to ferment rather, before it can become eatable. Okay. 3 hours in the water. Okay, the oil bill has stayed for 3 hours in the water, and the essence of putting it in the water after cooking it is for it to ferment. Okay, like for some of the toxins, some of the chemicals which are not good for human consumption in the oil bill to go away. Okay, so this is the first stage of fermentation. Okay, where it said it stays for 3 hours in the water. So now that it is done, now that 3 hours have gone, or that 3 hours have elapsed, it's now time for us to take it out of the water. So we are going to put it into this basket. So we'll take it from the water here and put it here. Okay, so join me as I do that. Okay, but before we start doing it, okay, I forgot to tell you, you must have washed your basket. Okay, get your basket set. Okay, because after this stage, it doesn't have any other thing to do with water. So if there are sand in your basket, it means that the people who are going to consume it are also going to find out that there is sand in it. All right, so time to remove it from the water. All right, so while you are taking it out of the water, when it gets to the bottoms of the pot, you have to use a sieve, okay, and you have to make sure that your sieve is not touching the bottom, just the way you wash your rice when you're cooking it. That's the same way you begin to sieve, so that the sands at the bottom of the pot or any other thing, stones at the bottom of the pot, will not join what you are getting at. So you can as well bend your pot just the way you do for your rice, okay, to ensure you get everything, okay. All right, so there's no hanker. All right, this is hanker. This is her pot here. So now that we are done with the first pot, we move over to the second pot, okay. We move over to the second pot and we begin to extract the oil bean, which is also known as ugba or ukpaka in some parts of Nigeria. You begin to extract it from the pot. All right, now this is my mom have been in this business for, if I can say exactly, for over 30 years. Like I was trained using this particular business, so we grew up doing it, and that is why even as an adult I still know how to do it. Even though we just returned from the city to the village, you know, I still remember how to do it, okay. So it's a very lucrative kind of business that anyone can get into, but you first of all need to learn it, because every stage of it is delicate. Now when it comes to the formatting or the fermentation of this oil bean, if you do not allow it to stay up to 2 to 3 hours or 2 to 4 hours in the waters, okay, there is a high likelihood that this oil bean will turn to green at the long run. And when it turns to green at the long run, it will not be good for consumption. Okay, what that greenish color simply means is that the toxins, which are the reasons why it was put in the water in the first place for it to ferment, did not go away. So those toxins will make it turn green, okay. So that's why it must stay up to 3 to 4 hours in the waters, okay. All right, so now that we have gotten it out of the water, the next stage is to cover it up, okay, for the second stage of fermenting. Okay, for the second stage of fermentation, is going to do that one outside the water, okay. So we're going to use this leaf. These leaves are a special kind of leaves. I don't actually know what they call it, but this leaf is a leaf of something we'll call fruit, okay, but that's just the general name we'll call it. So you can use either this leaf or you can use plantain leaves, okay, to cover it. So we'll quickly use this thing to just rub the top, okay. Use this thing to rub the top quickly, okay, because it is going to go into the second stage of fermentation. The first stage of fermentation does it in water, but for the second stage of the fermentation, it does it outside the water. So you have to carefully wrap this to avoid flies from perching on it, okay. That's the major the primary purpose. And then another reason of covering it this way is also to create heat up. So we are done covering this one, and it is now time to cover the second one. And I said the reason for covering this is to avoid flies from catching on it, because After this stage of fermentation, it is now ready for consumption, for human consumption. Okay, so you wouldn't like flies to come and perch on it and lay their eggs on it. Okay, so you have to carefully use the leaves to wrap it, and that is what I am doing right now. All right, so we're going to wrap this carefully. We're going to wrap this carefully. All right, we are done wrapping it here. You can pause the video. Okay, so now that we have covered it with these leaves, the next thing we're going to use, you're going to find a neat wrapper, okay, or a neat cloth, okay, and use it to cover the top. Okay, now this is going to apply heat that is necessary for the fermentation of this oil beer. Okay, so you're just going to use it and close it up finally this way, and it also helps to close any other space that is left so that flies will not go there and lay their eggs. Okay, so just as you have done for the first one, that's also what you do for the second one. You also use a cloth or a wrapper to close it up. Okay, so now that we are done with this stage, the next stage is to move it to a location where it can receive good sunlight. Okay, so we are going to place it under the sun where it will receive good volume of sun. Okay, so join me. It's heavy, so you have to be strong. Alright, so you're going to place it. There is sun here. You simply just bend it a bit so that the rest of the water will just drop off. You also do the same thing for the second one. So it's going to be like this from now till night. Okay, this is about past 3 o'clock. So it's going to be like this till 8:30, when it will now be packaged for selling. Okay, so that is all, and I want to believe you have learned how to process oil beer, also known as ugba or ukpaka in some dialects in the east. I don't know what the Yorubas call it, I don't know what the Hausas call it, but we call it ugba. Some other dialect calls it ukpaka. So I want to believe you have learned it. So we are going to show you the other end of how to package it, how to tie it, and then things about selling the ugba in our next video. Okay, so drop us a comment. Did you learn anything? Did you love this video? Let us know, motivate us so that we'll be able to record the next stage after this one. Okay, because it's a lengthy process. It's a lengthy process. So motivate us, let us know what you think about this, and we will surely do another video to cover the next stage. Thank you.